Hello, welcome back to the A Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ameer Hamid. Joining me today will be Brant and Mauro Cesario.
Hey, how are ya?
Mauro still got that running, eh? We're just going to rock with that?
Yeah, I'm going to keep running with it. Why
episode.
not? I think I've gone like 5 in a row now.
5, eh? Not
I
bad.
don't know.
Not bad.
I swear I thought it's been everyone. It seems like it to me at least.
Will Mauro hit as many episodes as I have wrong takes on the Eagles?
Or wrong takes as us on Thursday nights.
Yes.
That's fair.
That's a more accurate analogy.
What a mess.
Yeah.
What
so
a
bad.
stupid league. I hate it.
Honestly,
love Sundays. I'm
you
really
think-
good on Sundays, but Thursday nighters?
Like you think you know sports.
You don't. Doesn't matter
That's the
who you
thing.
are. You don't.
I think
well.
it would be easier if we were picking against the spread. I think it would be easier.
Maybe. But this is more fun. This is more...
Yeah, because you bet on all the favorites to win, and yet you
it
still
doesn't
end
matter.
up losing
Yep,
somehow.
Exactly.
Yep.
Who knows?
It's a joke.
I don't think we're not starting with the NFL anyways, though. We'll get to that after.
No, we're not. We're going to finish up with our week 4 picks.
Yeah.
Week 4, right, Mauro?
Week 4.
Week 4.
Week 4.
Week 4 picks at the end of the podcast. But first, we promised a big 31 team NHL preview, but we're going to start with the news before we get into that.
Right.
And we've had like waves of RFA signings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once Marner signed, then you had the Kachuk. Who else signed after
Besser,
Kachuk?
Point.
Yeah.
Point, and now these 3.
So now Laine signed first, right?
Yep.
In the next tier, and then Rantanen earlier today and Kyle Connor.
Mm-hmm.
So let's break down these deals. I'm going to say the best for last. But Patrik Laine signs a 2-year bridge contract. 2 years, $13.5 million.
Which is the smart move for Winnipeg, because what the hell do you give him?
Yep.
You don't want to sign him long term. You have no idea if he's worth giving any money to right now, because like that last season was atrocious.
Yeah.
So you give yourself 2 years, and if that's what he is as a player, then you're probably paying him this much in the next deal too, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. I think in terms of term too, it's perfect, because like I think there are a lot of aspects to his game that he needs to work on, like, you know, the foot speed, you know, becoming more physical, using his big body and his presence, like kind of like Ovechkin does. Like Ovechkin's got the shot, like he's the exact same kind of player you think about when you talk about Laine. It's just he's got to do the other things and work on those fundamentals and turn that put into action in order to make himself a case after these 2 years are up and get himself paid.
Yeah.
And he's got to look at a guy like John Tavares, and how we all know Tavares has never been like the greatest skater.
No.
But that doesn't mean that you can't improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, okay, so we see Mikko Rantanen signed for his 7-year, 9.25 AAV. I think it came up to what, 54 million?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you have been that upset if like Laine signed a deal like that?
Yeah. If I'm a
Yes.
Jets fan, yeah. That's way too much for this. Like last year was bad, man. Like he had 15 goals in like, I think it was 8 games or something like that.
Yeah, it was nuts.
But he only had 31 for the whole year?
Mm-hmm.
Eight,
He went from like 40 the year before, and he significantly dropped,
Like,
and in terms
if
of
you-
his play as well, too.
If you take away that stretch where he scored all those goals, he was like a 15 goal scorer or something like that, or 13 goal scorer, I think it was. Like, that's bad, man. For 75% of the season to be that, like, you're not paying $9 million for that. Yeah, he scores a lot of goals, but like, he's not consistent enough for the whole year.
But wasn't he consistent the first 2 years in the NHL?
Sort of. Injuries might have helped. But
yeah.
And also, like, look at the guys I know, like, his argument of, like, look at the guys I played with and look at them now. Mm-hmm. Like, he was playing with Brian Little last year. And no offense to Brian Little, but he's not the caliber of talent.
He's not the player he once was, but, I mean, still, I kind of cut that excuse right off the bat, because, like, players go through the whole deal of going into the doghouse and having to play themselves out of it.
He was still on the power play. He was still PP1.
Yeah, like he still has that shot that puts him on the power play every single time.
Yep.
It's just without that shot, what else more is he
nothing.
capable of?
He's not much else, man. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't play defense.
I think, giving him that replicating that deal for Rantanen, I'd be pissed off if I were a Jets fan too.
Yep. The only one that wins that is Laine. The rest, you're losing.
Yeah.
Okay, so in all of the deals that have been signed, I think the most fair contract has been the 7-year deal for Kyle Connor.
What did he get?
7 years, 7.14.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
You had a better
I love
year
that deal.
than
I think
Laine.
that's in a couple of years. I think that's it's a bargain.
Yeah.
Like
If he continues
even right
his
now
trend.
though, like it's solid.
If he continues a trend, yes.
He's a top line winger right now. He's playing on the line with Scheifele and Wheeler.
On his team, he's what, the third best player?
Yeah, I'd say so. Right now,
If Laine comes back, he's the fourth best player.
I'd still put him over Laine,
I
but
might
that's
put him
just
over
me.
Laine.
I'm biased.
I think I'd also put him over Laine. But
If Laine comes back to be what he is,
if Laine comes
I
back
think
and
he
he's
has
like second year Laine, then he's better than Connor.
Yeah, then it's
Laine.
a fourth player at $7 million, which still isn't terrible.
So people were saying 6.9 for Nylander's an overpay, right?
Yeah, not anymore.
it's fine.
I know, but like that was the thing, right? So 7.14 for a guy that scored a career high of 66 points last year isn't an overpay.
But I think I'd rather have Kyle Connor,
Okay.
even though he's less of a playmaker. Like he's not the playmaker that Nylander is. He's more of just like he's a complimentary player, but he's like an upper echelon complimentary player.
I feel like Connor gets more love than he should.
Connor plays with the best playmaker in the league.
Yeah.
To be fair. So those 30 goals, no, I think he even hit 40 last year.
34 goals, 32 assists.
34 rather, but still, like he scores a lot, and he's playing with two great elite playmakers, right? Scheifele and Blake Wheeler on that power play. If it's not going to Laine, it's going to Connor. And Connor, to his credit, gets a lot on the even strength too, because playing with those two guys, you're getting ample opportunity to score. So I get where you're coming though, in terms of him
Just kind of weird.
getting a little bit.
I don't really see.
Yeah.
I don't see what everyone else sees
in
in
Connor.
Connor. Like I still think he's probably better than what Laine was last year, because Laine just doesn't help you on the defensive end, and Connor can play defense. But he was still I know plus minus is shit, but like he was a -7 last year on a good team. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Fair. Then Mikko Rantanen signed the biggest deal of the day, a 6-year contract worth $9.25 million.
Love it.
What's the total of that?
Oh,
55.5 million.
Ish.
I love that, man. I think that's good for him. It's good for the Avs. Like that's fair value on both sides.
I think it's a big win for Joe Sakic, and it's a big win for Rantanen, especially not having to miss any time.
Exactly.
Too.
I mean, it's $1 million less than what he should be getting paid.
What do you get? You think you should get 10?
10.25.
I think if you're going by the market and who else is signed, then he should be making more than Marner in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think this is the deal. I think this is the accurate deal to what it should be. I think Marner should be sitting around this too. I agree. I think with Rantanen, it was just like he took the pay cut, or what he could have gotten. I don't even know if I think they just forced him into it, but he took less so that they have more money in the cap, because they have a ton of cap space.
He wasn't willing to fight
Yeah.
and ruin
Yeah.
a relationship
what's the
over
point?
$1 million.
Exactly.
Well, basically, he saw what Laine did, and the agent Mike Leah, he basically had no choice, because he's not going to have one guy sit out and then one guy sign the deal 2 days ago, right? He had to stand pat with both of them, and if one signed, he had to do whatever he could to make sure that both of them were going in, because it looks really bad on the agent's front if one of them goes in with a contract and one doesn't.
If you're an Avs fan, do you blame Rantanen for waiting this long at all? I don't.
No, what?
Like, so
No, I don't blame him.
You're not gonna. No one's gonna be.
Wasn't on the table.
No one's gonna be upset with Rantanen after this, right? You look across the board at the rest of the RFAs. Apart from like Point, who took a cut, like a big cut. The fans aren't happy with the handful of these RFAs that have signed at this point, right? So if
I think most of the RFAs have signed, like Point got paid less than he should have. Laine, he technically did get paid less than what he should have.
Right, but he pissed everyone off on the way in, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Because he shredded apart his team.
Marner signed for too much. Yep. We're saying Rantanen could have signed for more.
Yeah. I think Rantanen signed for, he probably could have got more, but he got what he was worth, and I think that's fair. You're not trying to get more than you're worth. You're just trying to get paid for what you've done. I think that's fair.
I don't think that any team, I don't think any team should be mad at their players for sitting out until now, because the deals that they got, they're not egregious.
Yeah.
And they didn't sit out any regular season games.
I don't disagree with that. If like you've been negotiating this whole time, I can understand why you'd be pissed at Marner for doing this. Cause like he had no part of the talks. Like he didn't actually have to be in these things. And then you waited the entire season to be a piece of shit for a summer. Like you could have done this in the latter part of last season and then been signed for the offseason and not have to worry about it and let them do their work while they know they like with certainty of what Marner's contract is. Like,
but my thing is like the contract that Mikko Rantanen signed, that offer wasn't on the table until Marner signed.
Right. Well, yeah, but he wanted.
And I think all of these guys, like Tkachuk wasn't getting 7.25 or something on a bridge deal, and like all of these guys, I think they did have to wait for Marner to set the market.
I think
so. I don't understand. That's my thing is like I don't understand the rationalization that fans should be mad at these guys, because in every single case they needed this domino to fall.
Most of these guys, sure. Laine, I can understand why you're mad because you're just shredding the team. That's stupid. Marner, I can understand why you're upset. He went as far as to basically
burn the bridge between team and player.
Exactly. It was dumb. But yeah,
I think Laine, you're mad just because you're thinking that your entire team's falling apart.
He put himself above the team in a way that no other player did.
Yeah,
which basically called out his teammates for
Paul Marner.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but that wasn't
but it wasn't Mitch though.
That wasn't Mitch. Mitch has no say in that whatsoever.
Which is his own fault.
Stop it.
It's his fault. It happened.
You employ these guys.
Yeah. That's just it. It's his fault it happened, but it wasn't him saying this stuff, right? There's a difference.
I would much rather go through a Patrik Laine negotiation and the tactics that he used than the Mitch Marner saga.
This was just him being an asshole by omission. Like Laine was a straight up asshole in person in interviews.
Yeah.
There's a difference. I think realistically, Rantanen's contract though, I think Joe Sakic might have pulled the right move because Rantanen came in being like, yeah, we're worth more than Marner. Give me more than Marner. And I'm pretty sure he just said, have fun in Europe, dude, because we're not paying you that. It's a dumb contract to sign.
We went from Joe Sakic as a god when he got that ridiculous deal from Ottawa to Joe Sakic is an idiot when he gave us Tyson Barrie to Toronto for Nazem Kadri, and everybody's like, why would you give up Tyson Barrie and retain deal? And now we're back to him with this.
He's still a god.
I think it's a really good deal for Rantanen now.
I never thought that the Tyson Barrie deal was bad for him.
Neither did I. But I know people who are saying that, Joe Sakic really effed up on that deal, and I'm like, well, not
with the number of D-men that they have coming up. Like I think that's ridiculous for those people that said that. I don't know, like. With the deals, I'm not mad with any of them.
No,
except for the Mitch. Like the part where the Leafs fucked up was giving Mitch the I'm going to give you my best deal right now at the beginning just to try to get it done, because you can't do that in negotiations. There has to be a something that pushes them in order to sign. There has to be like a deadline kind of to sign.
Just like,
you could have gotten Rantanen on this deal, the Rantanen deal to Marner if you had waited until now.
If you were more stiff about it. Yeah,
and you would come in with we want to pay you 8x8 instead of giving him the option of like giving the 10.5 for 8 at the beginning and the option for a bridge at 3 by 9.25. Like you gave him your best deals in the beginning. It was bad negotiating.
Yeah. I think we said enough on the RFAs, man. Like I'm so happy. I'm just so happy this talk's done, man. Like this shit's been going on
Is everyone over?
I'm pretty sure
everyone's done. Not one player is going into this season, at least of a big name, without a contract.
There's no holdouts.
Basically, everybody got it done late.
Yep.
And
Wow.
It's great. I'm so happy.
It was the worst dealing with this.
Yeah, it was stupid.
was
It's
awful.
the same conversation for everyone. And it's a stupid conversation because, like, A, you have no idea what's going on in there. And B, it's like, who the fuck cares? Figure it out when we get to the beginning of the season. Like, these guys want to whine about it. Let them deal behind doors. Move on. Like, who cares? Stupid. I'm just glad it's done.
Same with me. All right. Is that it for the news, really?
I think so. Nothing else NHL wise.
yeah.
Okay. So you messed up listing the names of the divisions here, bud, but we're going to get into the Atlantic Division first.
Oh, you wanted to do it that way? Okay. Sure.
Well, you listed the Metro as the Atlantic.
Shit. Okay.
All right, we're going to
My
go
bad.
through our 31 team preview. Right?
Right.
Are we going to actually time 2 minutes on the clock for each team?
Nah,
so
let's
we
just
don't
keep
go
it
over?
around 2 minutes, and if
Keep it around.
Yeah.
reasonable. With the teams that I know Brant doesn't like his list too much that he generated by himself, but
Yeah. So my generated
we'll
list
keep
sucks.
it short for some of the teams we got. Not too much to talk about, especially the ones that aren't competing.
All right, fire us
All
up,
right.
Ameer. Go.
So we're going to go with, we're going to give some prefaces of what the layout is going to be here. We're going to give you team MVP,
Okay.
breakout player.
Okay.
Will they make the playoffs? Yes or no?
Okay.
Oh my!
And the worst part is we're definitely going to have like
We're gonna have
Discussions,
like too
too
many
many.
we're
playoff
going to
teams.
list too many.
They're all
playoff
going to the
teams.
playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
Yeah. Feels.
So I think we have to be smart. Like, okay, it's like
There's 3 division people, and we need 2 wild cards. Figure it out while we go along. That's it.
all right.
luck, boys.
This is gonna be trial
Fire
and
it
error.
up.
It'll be fun.
We'll see how we
This is
do.
gonna be
All right.
fun.
All right. So the first team we have, or at least I have, is the Boston Bruins, our beloved favorites.
The Bruins.
In the Bruins.
I had to throw that
give
in
us
there. Sorry.
give us your Bruins comments. What's Jack Edwards? Go
Good
more.
old Jack Edwards. I'm going to throw it back to you, though, because this is your team to go over. But we're going to go as our first team in the Atlantic Division, the Boston Bruins.
All right. So yes, I believe that the Boston Bruins are going to make the playoffs because look, they're just that team that like they're so veteran savvy, but I think they have a great combination of like they have young guys coming up. They have enough to replenish the farm system. And look, team MVP, Patrice Bergeron still, but I mean, Brad Marchand is the best
every
player on their
day.
team. It is, but Bergeron's the best player on their team.
But Brad
I think in
Marchand.
terms of when Bergeron's playing, things are just so much more coherent in their offense.
Exactly.
Like they're lost without Bergeron, in my opinion.
Yeah. Breakout player, even though me and Brant were arguing over this guy last week and that he could never stay healthy, I think Charlie McAvoy's the guy to go with. It was either him or like Jake DeBrusk, in my opinion. I think they're two guys. McAvoy, he signed a bridge deal, but I think he's going to... Hey, I'm a fan of Chucky
Yeah,
Mack.
now when we're not arguing against it, I get it. No, I see where it is. It's whatever.
I think that, look, he's one of the up-and-coming defensemen in the
Right.
league, and I like
And they're
him.
paying
Him and
him
DeBrusk.
not a
DeBrusk
lot
scored a
of money.
hat-trick tonight, didn't he?
Sorry?
DeBrusk scored a hat-trick tonight.
He's gross.
Yeah, both
Like, he's-
him and Pasternak.
I think these guys can go into like take a next step, and I think DeBrusk is on his last year of his entry level deal. So in a contract year, I think he's going to be huge.
All right, wrap it. Mauro,
Any thoughts on the
playoffs or
Bruins?
not?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think that's a question.
All right. Who's got the next team?
That looks like me. The Buffalo Sabres. My list is just fantastic. Let's just start with that. The Buffalo Sabres are definitely not making the playoffs, I don't think. I think Jeff Skinner had a huge year last year. I don't think he repeats that. Dahlin might step up. Sure. Eichel's a bit of a bust for that contract, I want to say. It might be a bit of a hot take.
I don't know. Eichel had a really good year last year.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money you're paying
As
him.
someone that had him in fantasy and won his league. Thank you
Okay,
very
yeah,
much.
great. But I don't know. That team showed like they could win it all for like a month-long stretch last year, and then they look like they could probably be Ottawa for a little while. And I just
It's
need
like, are
no
they
idea.
are they the 10-game stretch, Or are they what they showed you the rest of the year?
I'm assuming they're what they showed you the rest of the year because that's a much bigger sample size. And it's still Carter Hutton, right?
Yep. Carter Hutton and who's that other one? Oh, I did not. He played against the Leafs. He's always out of position. Linus Ulmer.
So I don't give him a lot of hope. I also just don't like Buffalo. Rasmus Ristolainen looks like shit. Thank God. Fuck that guy. Good.
He's just one of those guys where I'm like, I think he's good,
He's
but
not.
like
His numbers are
thinks he's
so
good
bad
because he's 6'4" and
his numbers are
exactly.
awful. I love it. Thank you. Stay shit on Buffalo.
Yeah.
Have fun. 4 times.
MVP and breakout.
MVP's got. I think it might be Rasmus Dahlin because I think he's going to serve more purpose to that team than Jack Eichel because Eichel's been there for a while.
I would
and done
say
nothing.
he's their breakout.
I don't think they have a breakout, man. I think if anyone's poised for a breakout, it's probably Ristolainen. As much as I just chirped him,
I would have said Dahlin.
Yeah.
Dahlin, what do you mean?
No, because Dahlin was good last year. He was just a rookie. It's not a breakout if you're just kind of
He already
continuing
put up
with your
40 points as a defenseman,
as
right?
a rookie defenseman. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's I gotta say I gotta say Ristolainen just cause.
Okay, and no to the playoffs?
God, no, nowhere near the playoffs.
Okay. All right, next team, Mauro.
Oh yeah, baby. We're gonna shift things over a couple hours to the west. That being Detroit Hockey Town. And there really should not be that much to say for Detroit just because this is probably a top 3 team that's going to be at the bottom of your list. So yeah, like a bottom 3 team rather.
Really? A top 3 bottom 3 team?
A top 3 pick. They're
Of the bottom 3 teams in the league, they're definitely top of those. They're one of the top 3 of those bottom 3 teams.
They're in a position for a top 3 pick. So, to the team MVP, I don't think there's any question it's Dylan Larkin because he's basically the only blue chip piece they have moving forward.
Why isn't he the captain yet?
I mean, Anthony Manta's
Correct
a thing.
me if I'm wrong.
Anthony Manta's a thing.
Yeah, they have a couple of guys surrounding him. Like Manta, Bertuzzi, and Athanasiou are all good guys in the top 6. But I mean, if there's any basis towards this team's success, it's going to be based on whether or not Dylan Larkin plays well. And I think
that's fair.
He could potentially put up point per game numbers, like an 80-point season, but like the team's not going anywhere, at least this year.
The thing is, like, they have like good pieces around them, like to build off of. Like Larkin, Mantha. I think Athanasiou was by far a breakout player last year. He scored 30 goals.
Right?
Yeah. Breakout player.
The breakout.
I have one.
I have one.
I have 2.
Okay,
I have 2. I think the easy one is to say is Philip Zadina.
That's what I was going to
say.
say.
Because he's going to come into the season and he's going to put up, I think, some top 6 minutes, which will translate to points. But the other guy is Dennis Cholowski on the back end. On the back end, man.
Dennis Cholowski, the best name.
Mike Green probably won't get as many minutes. He's always injured. And if there's anybody that's going to have to step in and QB the power play, at least this year, because I know they drafted the guy in the first round, that German defenseman. But I think this year Cholowski might be able to put some points together. I don't know. We'll see. And I think it's safe to say that this is not a playoff team because they're, again, a bottom 3 team, a top 3 pick.
They're definitely top 3 in the bottom 3. That's for sure.
That's right.
Okay, I got the next team, the Florida Panthers. I think when you look at a team that's going to massively improve,
this is it.
Just based off of having competent goaltending, the Florida Panthers could. If you told me they win the Stanley Cup, I'd believe you. I don't love like the role players really, but in terms of high level players of Barkov, Barkov MVP obviously. Yandel's huge for them on the back end.
You think Barkov over Bobrovsky?
For team MVP, yeah.
I think Bobrovsky could play a huge part of that team, and I think
he could.
Like
without
Barkov's been there for a while, but I think you bring in Bobrovsky, and that makes that team a different weapon, man. Like if he can manage to beat Bobrovsky, he'll carry them to the playoffs in a heartbeat.
No doubt, but I think you're just depending on Bobrovsky to be at least. Can you at least beat last year? In Columbus, and you weren't good that last year. But as long as you're even that level,
that's the
we'll
Bobrovsky
be fine.
thing, right? Like you have an incredible year, and then you have an off year. So last year's an off year, then he's going to be incredible this year. Just kind of runs the same way. I don't know, man. Like it could be a thing.
Or he could get fat and happy and be like, "Oh, I got my contract. I'm good now."
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you heard. I think it was this week's Spit and Chicklets. Might have been last week's, but they were talking about Keith Yandel was talking about him, and he said it's the hardest working player he's ever seen in his life. Like he said, he came into camp and it's like not even just hardest working goalie. This is the hardest working guy he's ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow,
that's surprising.
I don't know if that's the attitude he'd take after getting the cash, but he's just like, yeah, this guy just works harder than anyone I've ever seen. So
interesting.
Could be big.
Breakout player. Honestly, they don't really have like a great one. I kind of think that Barkov still has another step to take because he was so good in the second half of the last year.
Yeah.
And he like just consistency wise, I know he was a point of game player, but I think he can take a step to be in the level of like the Nathan McKinnon conversation of like, okay, Connor McDavid's tier 1, and then in tier 2 you have Crosby, McKinnon. I think Barkov can be in that conversation as well. So I would take him to take a next step. I mean, you could say like a guy like Vinny Trocheck just because he's been injured so much that he could take another step, but that's who I would say. Do you guys have any other better opinions on that? I mean, Ekblad, who knows? Like he's been one of the most overrated players in the NHL. If he turns into a guy, then that's a positive.
I want to just comment to that because I think you hit it on the head with in terms of Florida. They've always been a team that they kind of just go mediocre for the whole ride until right at the end in the second half, post All-Star break.
They're incredible.
They just turn it on.
They're the best team in the last month every year.
Second half team. So if that team, and it starts with Barkov, right? If they turn it around where right off the bat in the season, they're consistent, right? And it goes all across the board, but I think he's the driving factor, right? He's perennially a Selke candidate. So
I kind of missed the name you said for breakout. Did you say breakout?
I said Barkov.
Okay, I think it probably could be Aaron Ekblad.
I hope it is. If you're a Florida fan, I think
if anyone's poised to do it, it's like he's kind of been meh, and I think he's better than that. But who knows?
Who's got the next?
I think I do, right? Nope. Oh yeah, I definitely do.
Yep. The best team in the Atlantic.
What year we got? 2021 first round pick lottery winners. The Ottawa Senators.
First overall pick. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're obviously going to be a playoff team, right? I don't even. Do we really need to spend time on this team?
Let's go. Let's go on. Let's go back to Florida for a second. Florida playoffs, yes or no?
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. But I'm not sure who they beat out. But I'm going to say yes for now.
I think Tampa's got one in the Atlantic.
I think it's 1, 2, 3. Boston,
obvious to say.
Tampa, Boston, Toronto in whatever order. It doesn't matter.
I think like 2 to 4 can be interchangeable. I think like you could argue to me. You could also argue to me that like Florida's going to be shit.
I wouldn't disagree.
I would argue that the Leafs go into a wild card spot and end up on the other side of the bracket.
And Florida? That could be a great thing for them.
Yeah, because they might not have to play Boston in the first round.
Yep.
Until Boston falls into the other wild card because Montreal pushed them out or something stupid.
Something stupid. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, go
Anyways,
back to your
Ottawa consists of half of Toronto's fourth line and their coaching staff, and yeah, they look great. I have literally nothing to say on Ottawa, man. They signed Shabbat to a really good deal that we forgot to mention on the podcast. Incredible deal. He's got, what was it, 8 more years in Ottawa now at 8 per?
8 by 8. Yeah.
Isn't it 9?
What? No, because you're going to sign 8.
Was the contract 7 years or 8 years?
8 years.
8 by 8, 64 million.
Yeah.
Okay, unreal. But including this year but that contract kicks in next
season.
Year.
So yeah, he's got 9 more years. You're right. 9 more seasons in Ottawa, which I'm sorry, Thomas Shabbat, but that's a sick move. That's the first thing Ottawa's done right in 2 years. Maybe that's a sign of good things to come, but as of right now, man, they're awful. Just awful. There's like none of these names give me hope.
Brandstrom, Shabbat.
And Shabbat. Yeah, is Brandstrom going to break camp? Have they said yet?
They're iffy.
Daily Faceoff has them as their second pair lefty.
Okay. because they weren't
With
100%.
Ron Hainsey.
They
My
weren't,
boy.
They weren't sure on it, right? So like you're counting on Zaitsev and Hainsey to eat up minutes now, and like we
You're
tried
basically hoping DJ Smith is hoping that he could piece together the fourth line players of the Leafs and
sprinkle them over the lineup.
do something with it.
I mean,
Connor Brown is on the first line of this
Connor
team.
Brown might have a good year. I think that'd be my breakout player. Would be Connor
possible.
Brown because like he's finally got a chance in Ottawa, and maybe he scores 25 again. Who knows? I doubt it.
Nikita Zaitsev, breakout player.
Oh.
I'd
Actually,
say
Anthony Duclair.
Brady.
I kind of like Duclair.
Duclair had
I'd say
a big
Brady
finish,
Tkachuk.
did he not?
Yeah.
Brady Tkachuk can't have. I don't think he's the breakout player. He's just like he was good last year, and I don't think he's going to be any better than that until he gets line
I think
mates.
this team's going to be dog shit.
No shit.
They're gonna suck.
shit.
but-
Like,
Tell me
no,
about
but
it.
like they got, they were in like the 60s with points last
Yeah, they're
year,
bad.
and that's with half season of Duchesne and
Yeah.
Stone and Dzingel.
Yeah, now you don't have that, and you added Connor Brown to replace him, and Tyler Ennis. Sorry,
Connor Brown.
never forget
How many
Tyler Ennis.
legitimate
Ennis,
guys?
Ron
How many
Hainsey.
legitimate pieces do they have on this team? Kachuk, Batherson, maybe. Is Batherson actually a
could be
guy?
good. He's like you don't know. He's
Colin
shown
Logan
flashes.
Brown a guy?
Logan Brown, I don't think is what they think he is.
He's not a guy. Like
not
he's
a
not
guy.
a building
No.
block.
He's a
Shabbat,
support piece.
Brantstrom,
Shabbat.
four guys.
Pajot could be a guy.
I don't know.
Like he's shown.
He's on their fourth line. They have
that's
him.
bad. But he looked good to start the year or the finish the. I don't know. He looked good at some point last year. Borobiecki is obviously a guy. Kind of looks like a Goomba.
Yeah, he really does.
But whatever, man. That team sucks. Shabbat's the MVP every year until they
Yeah.
bring anyone else in. But
All right, let's move on.
before
Mauro.
we move on, though, one thing we didn't mention. Do you think Craig Anderson has a bounce back year?
No,
No,
done.
he might.
He's
yeah.
done.
Maybe because of Ron Hainsey.
Yeah, obviously, Hainsey and Zaitsev are gonna make him look like a saint.
What if like it's the ultimate cucking and like Craig Anderson is amazing and then he gets traded to the Leafs
And then just
'cause they need
shows
a
up.
backup goalie.
Yeah.
and
He'd be a good backup.
And then
He'd be a great backup. He doesn't have to play
and
every
then
day.
he outplays Freddie and then
Oh, Jesus.
we play him in the playoffs. I don't know. I'm just thinking of like the doomsday scenario. I
The
don't.
worst possible
think-
scenario that could happen. Yeah, I could see it.
So is this team
I think
making the
he's washed.
playoffs?
No,
Oh,
not even.
No. They might be top 3. They might be top 2 of the top 2. Or the bottom 2, sorry.
that's right.
Yeah, there's a strong chance they're top 2 of the bottom 2.
Top 2 pick, bottom 2 in the league.
Yeah.
All right. So we can go from
Mauro.
one side of the spectrum to the other, right? Just as quick. We're going to head down south to Tampa, where we have our last year's President's Trophy winners who got bounced in the first round. But I think early on in the season, I think it's still theirs for the taking in terms of the Stanley Cup.
Tampa?
Very early prediction, but I think everybody's going to say that.
They didn't get worse. So
They got better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They
so, I
shored
mean-
up the back end of their defense, which is really important because
they also
I mean,
brought
you're
in
getting a guy like Shattenkirk who's going to
Patrick
be
Maroon.
Yeah, I was going to say Pat Maroon too, who is a huge physical force on the front end that they have been lacking.
Yeah.
So
It's a move that's not going to matter in the regular season, but in the playoffs, it's going to make a big
Exactly.
difference. But the one thing is like when you're at the beginning of the season, you're like, oh, this team's going to definitely be like they're the no doubt favorite. It's kind of like throw that out the window because like
it
in
does
the
not
NHL,
matter.
when do the
It
favorites
does not
ever
matter.
win?
They're not winning. I don't think they're winning the cup. I think sure they'll probably be the first seed in the NHL again. They're not winning the cup. Sorry. It's just I don't think they have what it takes to win the cup. And they haven't every time they make it to the playoffs with this roster. Sit down. It's done. I don't like sure. Like the numbers say yes, they'll win it. It's great. They have all this scoring, they have all this, but they all crack under pressure. Every one of them. There's not one
We'll
player on
see.
that
They've-
team that you're like, that guy was really good in this playoff because he's not.
Who's your breakout guys and MVPs tomorrow?
Can they have a
okay. So
breakout guy?
MVP, I'm going to go with Kucherov because he
shit.
put up a MVP caliber season, and if he's not
Wait,
like
the
that,
MVP is going to be Dave the MVP.
What? Come
he
on.
was the MVP last year, so he's going to have to follow
Obviously.
it up in order for this team to be, the record pace again like they were last year. I mean, realistically, do they need to play at the caliber they were last year in order to make the playoffs? No, because this team is the best team in the league by far in terms of, how the season goes. As Brant said, playoffs is another story, but yeah, Kucherov's the MVP for me. Breakout candidate's kind of hard because this is already a team of
Victor Hedman,
established players.
Victor Hedman
I'm gonna
got
go
hurt
with
for half
Anthony
of last year.
Cirelli. I don't know. He's got a month now. He's got a month right now to basically show himself what he could do on as a second line center.
Isn't he a Woodbridge kid?
Yep.
Yeah, pride of Woodbridge, Ontario.
His name's Anthony Cirelli. He's either from Italy or Woodbridge. There's no
wait, but why does he? Well, he's not going to be back for a month.
He got hip surgery.
He's going to miss the first couple of weeks after off-season hip surgery.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
He's hitting hip surgery.
Because with all the talk of RFAs, no one talked about.
It honestly flew under the radar so quick. It was ridiculous.
No idea that happened.
And obviously, this team is a playoff team, probably the first seed in the East. So yeah, that's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
All right, should we go on the best team in the
Let's talk about the only team we want to hear about.
Yeah.
Exactly. The team we're going to spend like an hour talking about.
So much for 2 minutes on these guys. Fire it up. Tell me about every single forward on their front end. Go.
Okay, so Rasmus Sandin is making the lease. Mike Babcock just said.
Good.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
He just said it like 3-4 minutes ago. Yeah, so that's great. I don't know, man. So
we're talking.
Okay,
we're talking
Mauro,
about
what's
the
your
Leafs,
opinion
by
on the
way,
Matthews situation?
He got shit faced in Arizona with his buddies. There's nothing more to it.
That's what we said.
Exactly. Yep. That's what I. Done. That's what basically what we said is that everything he did was wrong. But it's really just a drunk night that it
happens to the best of us.
22-year-old had.
I want to go out and do that now because of Austin Matthews. That's the only thing that could come from this story. I want to be like Austin Matthews even more. And Toronto kids all across the GTA,
they're all running around without pants.
I'm gonna be like Austin Matthews, and I'm gonna pull my pants down, not my boxers. And then show it to the security guard.
Yo, it was so fucked up how the media was talking about it.
Come on.
He didn't pull his underwear down. He had his underwear on.
That's saving grace, man. He kept that underwear on. He's good. Don't worry. Do you want to actually talk about the team, or are we just going to keep talking about Austin Matthews without pants on?
In all seriousness...
funniest quote from the security guard, too. When she was... Do you see the body cam, the body cam of her giving her statement?
I didn't. I saw the video, but I didn't
in the statement at the end, he goes, I told him to put his pants back on because I don't think there's anybody in that building that wants to see him with his pants around his ankles. I'm like, it's Austin Matthews. I'm going to have to disagree with that. There's probably a good percentage of women in that building that wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah. Okay. In all seriousness, with Austin's playing the preseason.
Yeah.
I still think he should be the captain.
He's so gross. He's got his fourth tonight.
He had 3 points tonight?
Yeah, fourth goal, too.
And the 2 assists that he had were nicer than the goal. And the goal was disgusting. He just undressed the Detroit defenseman. It was nasty. I think William Nylander is going to have a huge season this year. But the guy that I've been most impressed with the entire preseason,
Frederick Gauthier,
Ilya Mikheyev.
Yeah.
He's been awesome.
He's been really good.
Awesome.
I mean, this is a typical Leaf fan talk because nobody else is like, oh my God, look at Ilya Mikheyev. Because, I mean, he's a third liner.
But been holy shit, Mikheyev. Yeah, exactly. It's like, we get so much Austin Matthews and John Tavares and Mitch Marner talk that we're just like, look at this guy. Holy shit, he's actually good. Look, these are all the guys that can break out this year that I legitimately think. Nylander?
Yep. Nylander, I think, is the top.
Janssen?
Yep. Do you think? Hold on.
Kapanen?
Do you think Janssen or Kapanen improve over their last season? I think that's what they are. I don't know if they're going to be any better than that.
I mean, Janssen played with Kadri last year on the third line,
I guess line mates will help.
And being on the first line. And the first team power play.
And then Cap's going to be with Marner and Tavares for a while.
And Tavares.
Yeah, all right.
Exactly. Mikheyev and Moore. Moore was nasty today.
Moore should be better.
Kerfoot could, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Let's just name
Cody
everyone that's not a defenseman could probably be the Toronto
Cody
Maple Leafs
Ceci.
breakout play. I had Cody Ceci.
Cody Ceci.
Maybe.
I mean, hey,
He's not in Ottawa
talked
anymore.
about as so bad in Ottawa that, hey, it could be due for a mid-season,
Dude,
mid-career.
You can hide a
turnaround.
lot of people behind Morgan Riley. And that seems to be what they did for years with Ron Hainsey, and that's kind of what they're going to do with Cody Ceci. So, I mean, he's going to look better than Hainsey did, so sure, maybe he has a
Playoff
breakout
Ron
year.
was another animal, though. Let's not disrespect him all that much.
Sorry. Playoff Ron. Yeah.
All right. Team MVP. I think that
Matthews.
it's obvious.
Oh, Freddie.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's the Leafs go how
I
Freddie
said
goes.
this to my mom the other day.
End
If
of
Freddie
story.
gets hurt, they miss the playoffs. If he misses,
they
if he
still
misses
score every
significant
team.
time, they miss the playoffs. Because that team they
You
allow
got
a lot of
a
shots.
lot of teams in the Atlantic coming up. Like,
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Montreal was there last year. Florida's going to be a lot better this year. Like, the pressure's on this
If
year.
you're not playing
for
at your
these
best,
three
Florida's
teams.
going to pass you.
Yep.
I don't think
Probably.
Montreal is. I don't think they're legit.
They were there last year. They
missed
were
one.
right at the wild card.
I forgot to put Montreal in. Oops. We'll get to them after this, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
My bad.
It's all good.
But yeah, like if you're not playing at your best, and I think they're definitely not at their best when Freddie's out, then
Obviously.
there's a strong chance that three teams in this division pass you, and then you're battling.
They're battling.
You're battling with because the other side's got Carolina, Columbus is going to be garbage. Philly's good. Pittsburgh's always good. New Jersey's going to be better. The Islanders, the Rangers, and Washington could all legitimately be playoff teams. So now you're battling with a lot of teams for two spots, as opposed to battling with those other two Goliaths in your own division.
Yep.
It's tough.
Playoffs, yes.
Yeah. As long as Freddie's healthy, yeah.
Barring a disaster or a catastrophe, it's a playoff team. Like, they got better in the offseason.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're one of your rivals in the division. We didn't say that they were going to make the playoffs, but we all conceded that they'd be number one in the Atlantic. The Tampa Bay Lightning. I mean, they got the best goalie in the NHL, Curtis McElhinney.
Did they actually? I didn't even hear
Yeah,
about
he's their
that.
backup
Oh, shit.
because they sent Domingue down.
Brutal. Did Domingue clear waivers?
Yep. I think
How? That guy was real good last year.
He got like 20 wins last
Nobody wanted
season.
him as a backup at least.
so. I mean, I think it was the cap hit.
That sucks. Oh well.
Yeah. Montreal Canadiens. Who wants to take this?
I'll go, but I got to go back to back then. But honestly,
fine.
I don't
You
want to
want me-
talk about the Canadians because, like,
Okay. We can kind of
I
split it
don't
up.
think they're going to be as good as last year. Because I think,
Domi's headed for regression.
there's no way that's what Domi is. I'm sorry. Like, I love Max Domi, but like, there's no way that's Max Domi.
Unless he is, and that's awesome.
I
but
just doubt there's no way that's Max Domi, the NHLer. Like, Max Domi was an incredible junior player. Like, I don't know if we all forget that. Like, he was so good with the London Knights. And then he came up and he's been dog shit with Arizona. Yeah, he was with Arizona, and I guess that plays to it. But, like, there's no way you make that big a jump and, like, oh, this is the player I am. You guys just saw 3 bad years of what I was. I don't think he can carry that team again. Shea Weber's old. Carey Price is real hit and miss, and he's making a lot of money to do it. Kotkaniemi might be okay. I'm hoping he has a...
I think he's the breakout
Yeah.
player. Like when I was watching the preseason games and I saw him out there, I was like, "Holy shit, who's that guy?
Yeah.
He's huge. Like he's just tall
Yeah.
and like big." I was like,
I have him in one of
that
my
was
fantasy
shocking.
leagues, so I could use it. But I don't know. I give him breakout. I give Carey Price MVP because if he's not your best player, you lose. Plain and simple. Because
Agreed.
like their entire
Playoffs? Yes,
season,
no?
I don't think so.
I say
no.
but
I think
they could be.
I think Florida passes them in terms of.
Agreed. Like if
Yeah.
we're power ranking the division, I
Yeah.
agree. All right, next team, Brant.
Carolina. Carolina.
We're moving on to the
Yeah,
Metro.
we are in the Metro division. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But Carolina is probably the most fun franchise in the NHL. Am I wrong for saying that?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. I mean, the team might not be. They picked up Jake Gardner. That's cool. You lose Justin Falk. Not cool. But like you had to get rid of someone. I thought it was weird that they brought in Joel Edmondson in that trade.
I mean, at the money that they signed Justin Falk to.
Yeah, it's a frightening deal. So they're back.
7 years at 6.5.
Their back end is going to be great. There's no denying that. I forgot to pull their thing up here. Who's their goalie this year? Can you tell me offhand?
Mrazek. Reimer's the backup.
All right. So you're putting a lot of faith into a guy that Mrazek had a good year last year, right? With like he had a good stretch. You're putting a lot of faith into a guy that's never been good before that.
And he's never really been forced into a position where he has to play legit starting minutes and a full season worth of a starting workload. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting. At least I think so.
I don't think he handles that well. I think they regress from last year. I think last year might have been a bit of a blip.
An anomaly.
Yeah. But they could prove me wrong.
Too big of a word for you?
I forgot the word, to be honest. Thank you. They could definitely prove me wrong, though. The defense is really good. Like Jake Gardner's probably going to be your third pairing guy. They have guys
that can break out also.
But
I mean, Svechnikov
was great last year. I still can't get this pulled up. Like, you lose Justin Williams, which is like, it's not the biggest deal on the ice, but it's a big deal in the locker room. And for that team, it just seemed like they were really locker room based. They did sign Aho to a sweetheart of a deal. That's what I'm missing.
They signed Dzingel also. Like they have good. I think if you look at like their forwards, they just have solid guys. Like Nino Niederreiter, when he became a Hurricane, he was incredible.
They have, I don't know if Nick Ash is going to come up, but he's still there.
Nikas, apparently.
They lost Ferland in the offseason.
Ferland was a big hit.
He was a good player for them last year.
He signed a deal that I was like, everyone was talking that he was going to get like 6 or 7 million, and he signed what, 3?
Yeah,
3 something.
Like that,
it wasn't big, but
they just got a bunch of like, okay, that's a name. Which, you know what, those teams can shock you, but that's tough. Are they a playoff team?
I don't trust their goalies, and they don't have like, other than Aho, they don't have the elite upper echelon players yet.
You can't run on 2 guys.
Exactly.
I say they're probably not a playoff team. I think there's a chance that both wildcards come from the Atlantic, and that's why I don't put them in there.
Potentially.
MVP?
Go for it.
It's got to be Aho. Breakout could be. See, I don't want to go against my own argument and say Svechnikov, because like earlier I said it couldn't be. Who was the rookie? There's some rookie because I don't think rookie's going to be the breakout. Oh, Dahlin, I said it on earlier. I don't think you can be the breakout next year. I think you're just continuing your trends. But
sure, it's got to be like a third year player.
Like someone like that, like, okay, this guy's been okay.
That's a fair. Yeah, no, you're right.
It could be Dzingel, because Dzingel, there was times where he looked good in Ottawa, and then he just never had anyone to play with because it's Ottawa. You put him on a line with Aho and Svechnikov. No, Svech is a left winger.
Teravainen.
Yeah, anything like that. I think he'd look okay.
Yeah. Hayden Fleury, maybe.
Hayden Fleury might get on. He might not even hit the back end, will he?
Right now they have him on the back end. Third pair, but
they got a deep defense core, man.
I would say no.
Actually, you know what? You know who's got a really good chance of being the breakout man? Jake Gardner. Because there's a strong chance he could come back to being a 50-point guy again. That wouldn't surprise me. With no pressure.
Is he even on their power play?
Probably not, but was he even really on ours? It was like a minute and 45 seconds of Riley, and then here, Jake, finish it off. So I think you put him on a team like that, he's going to be a hell of a lot less pressure and just go out there, play your game, have fun, do some stuff. He's probably going to put up a lot of points.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
It'll be fun to see. But I would say no on playoffs.
I don't think they can repeat what they did last year.
No.
Anywhere close.
Go Mauro.
All right. So the next team we got is the Columbus Blue Jackets. So
Columbus Blue Jackets select.
They lost their 2 best players in the offseason, so I think this is a big regression year for them, definitely. I mean, you lose top goal scorer, top point scorer, whatever you want to call him, Artemi Panarin's gone, like there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to take hits in terms of points totals.
They're bad.
So, I mean, the MVP remains the same. It's going to be Seth Jones in the back end.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
they're bad.
I don't know what to.
They're bad.
I don't know what to
dude.
make of this
that's
team.
all
Like,
you can say. They're bad.
I don't know how bad
they
they'll
lost
be.
everyone, man.
I just think that they're average.
They're bad.
They're going to be
They're going to be bad, man.
Team.
They're awful.
I don't think they're going to be Ottawa. They're going to be Detroit bad, but I think they're going to be like the 13th, 12th, 11th place team.
They're going to be top
East.
5 of the bottom 5. I guarantee it.
I don't think they're going to be.
I just think
this team is not good.
I think they're a low 80-point team.
Give me 3 names from this team. They're like, okay.
Pierre-Luc Dubois, Cam Atkinson.
And Seth Jones. Okay.
Josh
Anderson. Seth Jones.
Who's your goalie?
Yeah. That is
that's
the worst.
That's a
man.
question mark.
That's a hole.
He's been really good when Bobrovsky's not been playing. So like whatever, it's a very small sample size. I understand that, but he's shown flashes of brilliance where like when Bobrovsky went down, I want to say like 2 years ago, he stepped in and he started putting up some great numbers. So it'll be a big tell whether or not he's the guy or not. Like right away, we'll figure it out. But I mean, I don't think they're going to be Detroit or Ottawa bad.
I think they're Detroit. Nobody's Ottawa bad. Let's just clear that up right now. Nobody's Ottawa bad, but they might be Detroit bad, man.
I don't think that they're that different than Buffalo.
Do you know who?
Yeah.
Do you know Texier?
Alex Texier? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's their first line left winger.
Okay. I remember the name.
I think
from
Josh
last
Anderson
year.
would be up there, but they don't even.
Josh Anderson plays right wing, but Josh Anderson. If Josh Anderson's your first line winger, you've got a problem.
Didn't he score 30 goals last year?
You've got a problem, dude. Don't tell me that Josh Anderson's a first line winger.
He's sick. He's not a first
big
liner,
boy,
but he's sick.
He's just a monster. Yeah,
He's sick. Yeah.
you got Wenberg, Nyquist, Bjorkstrand as your second line.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's
I
not
just think
pretty.
they're solid. Like, I still like the back end.
Of Werenski and Jones, and then I
like Nudi Vara, Brian Murray if he can stay healthy.
He scored
It's
27
hard.
last year, which I mean, I don't think he'll get to 30 just because of, Panarin being gone and the offense is definitely going to take a
bottom line is
step back.
You lost a top 3 goalie in the league.
Yep.
And you replaced him with a guy that probably wouldn't hit
Panarin,
top 30.
You lost Duchesne, yeah.
So, yeah, they're not going to be good.
I mean, my breakout candidates,
it's
it's
regression.
kind of hard. Like, Werenski and Dubois, like, both could take it to the next level. It's just so hard to do that when you lose your 2 best pieces from last year.
It's like, does Seth Jones become into not only, like, elite defenseman, but in the conversation of like Norris every year,
Yeah.
like
he should be, but
I think it's going to be very hard, especially with a question mark in goal where, they really showed that they were a good defensive team. They were playoff, they were in the hunt. I forget if they made it.
I think this
they did.
I think this is
They swept the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's right.
Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
So, I mean, will it be anywhere close? I don't think so, but I don't think they're going to be awful.
Are they a
I'm going to say
playoff
no
team?
to playoffs.
Okay.
No,
They're not like
no, they're not.
they're not even top 4 or 5 in their own division. So no, that's not even close.
No. But I don't think that they're awful. Like,
I don't think they're awful either.
Okay.
I kind
Let's
of
move on. We're getting
clubs. I
long
just
on
like
these,
it.
so we got to fly.
Yeah. Okay. Am I next? Philadelphia. They signed some contracts this offseason. Kevin Hayes, he signed that big ticket.
dumb.
What was it? $7 million
That was
AAV or
bad,
something nuts.
That was bad.
It was a big deal. Konechny signed his extension, so that was big. Provorov got his. This team's interesting, and I think if Carter Hart can take a next step, but I think that's a cop out just because, like, look, he's a second year. It's a second year. Nolan Patrick, I think, even though he's out with the migraine thing, that it's frustrating, but he's going to be lined in as the third line center.
Nolan Patrick.
Is this finally the time that he? Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. For a guy that was a second overall pick, like 2 years ago.
If he can take a step up and at least play up to that, because he's been garbage because he's been their second line center. He hasn't been producing points at a second line level.
Yeah.
I don't know, just because of his line mates, like when you plug him into that third line,
Not good.
does not look
Not
great.
good.
You got like Oscar Lindbaum, Scott Lawton, and Joel Farabee right now that's there.
Who's your MVP?
Not great. Sean Couturier.
Breakout?
I would still go with actually Provorov.
Okay, yeah, he had
Let's
a
go.
tough year last year.
Exactly.
He's
that's
poised
why.
to come back around. Playoff team?
Okay. Potentially.
I think there's a
they're wild card
chance.
mix.
Like,
They're
man, we have a lot of teams left in this division that could be playoff teams. I think I'm going to give them a yes.
They're
I think
fighting for a
they
wild
should be.
card.
Like, they're probably not going to be top 3 in the division, but they might fight for that wild card. You're right.
yeah. Next team.
My boys, Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't have a lot of hope this year. This is the first year I've gone into a Penguin season and been like, yeah, they're probably not a playoff team.
They could miss the playoffs.
Because it's great. Crosby Malkin, huge. Big deal. Outside of that, like Jake Gensel, yeah, he's a guy. Good goal scorer. Really good at playing with Sidney Crosby, but a lot of guys are really good at playing with Sidney Crosby. Dominic Cahoon.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing with Gensel. It's like, and Kyle Connor. How much is it that you're playing with Scheifele and Wheeler, and how much is it that Gensel's playing with Crosby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I read it right today, but apparently Crosby and Rust both got hurt today.
Yeah, in the
So
preseason, both
if
left.
that's gonna be a thing, that's a bigger issue. You lose, but you lost Phil Kessel. That's big. That guy's a goal scorer. Like, regardless of how he got along with anyone, that guy puts up a lot of points, and now you don't have him. I mean,
But then again, like in those years that you think that Pittsburgh's not going to win, then again, just look at them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's man, their second line. I guess they got Galchenyuk, but like their depth is gone. Like, they used to be a team that, like, they put out 4 lines. Like, back when they had the HBK line in the playoffs, you put out 4 lines and they were all pretty good. Now
They had strong depth then.
Yeah.
It's weak.
man,
The
they're-
defense is definitely weaker than it has been in the last 5 years.
yeah.
The forwards, I mean, they aren't what they used to be. You went from having Bonino, Hagelin, and Kessel on your third line to now, I don't know, if you have the lines up there.
Bukestad, McCann, Hornquist.
Dude, CBS has their third line as Bukestad, McCann, and Hornquist, and then their fourth line
I
is
literally just said that.
Bluger, Aston Reese, and Ruedel.
Okay, so we were talking earlier on today about how it's when you pay the guys that aren't star level players, that's where you get in trouble. And you see Nick Bukestad, Patrick Hornquist,
Yeah.
McCann, who'd they sign? Brandon Tanev.
Tanev.
Like, these are depth guys that you're signing to significant money. Like, it's not the guy; those aren't the guys that you pay.
Bottom line, Matt Murray shows up and he looks like the Matt Murray of 2 years ago. They could be a playoff team.
They
if
could make
not,
it.
I don't think they're a playoff team. MVP is Sid. That's not really the question ever.
Matt Murray.
No. Sid's the best player. He's the second best player in the NHL.
Breakout.
I was just going to
Galchenyuk?
say Galchenyuk, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I'll
poised
third
to,
that.
playing with Malkin, that's probably a pretty good sign.
If it's not here, he's not.
He's not
doing
a
it
player.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's bottom line. Yeah, that's it. Playoff team, I'm going to say no.
They should be.
I don't think so.
They should be.
You know what? There's always a chance that Sid and Malkin both carry them to the playoffs.
Yeah. Mauro, New Jersey.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for this team.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like, I've been doing up some reading on these guys. I forget the name of the coach. It should be somewhere here. But he's like right off the bat, like an early candidate for Jack Adams. I know we haven't skated at all in regular season yet, but I mean, I really like everything about this team. The only question mark I think is the goalies, Blackwood and Schneider. But I mean, they solidified a lot of positions in this lineup. So, I mean, right off the bat, I mean, the MVP is Taylor Hall. He's already put up a Hart Trophy with the team. It's a contract year for him. They got a lot to play for. I mean, they added Gusev, Simmons, and Subban. I mean, that's
And Jack Hughes. Like, I mean, they drafted him, but
like that's significant upgrades.
yeah, for a team that was good 2 years ago, they were a playoff team 2 years ago, and it's not all that different. So I mean,
the breakout is kind of tough because the easy one's Jack Hughes.
Yeah, but again, rookie, I don't think he can be a breakout guy.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I think it's Nico Hischier. Mm-hmm. He can basically take a big step forward, especially having Hall back in the lineup. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Brant, sorry, Ameer, you had a point you wanted to make. Go for it.
Thanks. I think it's a playoff team if that they can get the old Corey Schneider back, or Mackenzie Blackwood can be a
looked
competent
really
starter.
good. I'll give him that. Blackwood looked really good in stretches of last year.
But is it a flash in the pan, or
I don't think so, man. I've seen that kid play. He's a fucking monster, but who knows? He might not be an NHL goalie, but like he's a talented goalie. Like he makes a lot of saves that people shouldn't.
Right now, I'm really putting them as a playoff team.
Yeah,
I think they'll sort it out, and they'll have enough to sneak in as even a wild card.
Yep.
I really like putting Jack Hughes with a guy like Wayne Simmons. Mm-hmm. I just think that's great.
It's not bad.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm interested to see Gustav.
Tell me about those pieces of shit in New York.
Oh, you mean the Islanders?
Right. The home.
The obviously making the playoffs, New York Islanders. So they signed some big deals also this year. Re-signing Eberle, Anders Lee got a big ticket. Brock Nelson got a big ticket also, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's they signed Jarek Brassard, you know?
Is the okay, bottom line, is this team a flash in the pan? Was last year legit?
I don't know. Okay, legitimately though, they have good players on this team. Mm-hmm. Anders Lee, Matthew Barzal, Jordan Eberle, Brock Nelson, Josh Bailey. That's 5 of their 12 forwards are
Was
good.
their team carried by a goaltender last year?
Yes.
Right, they lost that goaltender.
Yep.
I don't think they're legit. I think without Robin Leonard, they're not a playoff team.
I still think they are.
Unless Varlamov can play up to that level.
Yeah, he shows stretches where he's got that ability, but I don't know, man.
Apparently Dobson's playing with the team right now, so that'll be interesting. Noah Dobson. So that's interesting.
Good Canadian kid.
But I don't like any of their defensemen really.
Just what they got?
I don't mind. I mean, I think Pulak's the only name I like.
Yeah.
Yes.
But having $6 million wrapped around a guy like Johnny Boychuk, like, damn, like it's kind of hard to piece anything together in this roster when you're forking out $11 million on Nick Leddy and Boychuk.
Leddy still puts up points, though. I'll give him that.
He's going to basically take a back seat this year, I think, to Pulak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's a flash in the pan.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think, especially without a goalie now.
Playoffs or no?
I don't think they're going to be anything worth talking about.
Pardon?
You said playoffs or no? Playoffs or no?
I don't know. I think no, just because the goaltending. But I like Trotz as a coach. Like they play a very defensive style, so I think the consistency in net would be the key, and I don't see it.
Agreed. Yep. Next team, Brant, Rangers.
I think this team's going to be a lot of fun.
They are.
Yep.
They got better. Like they rebuild quick. They picked up Panarin.
Perhaps too quick.
I don't know, man. Like they did a really good job with this rebuild. I think that you could see it right from the beginning. They made a lot of really good deals, brought a lot of really good young guys in, got a bunch of picks, and they look good, man. Like you get Zibanejad, Panarin, Buchnevich as your first line, according to CBS, which it probably could be Capo Caco by the end of the year, and I wouldn't question it. But like your second line, I mean, they have Ryan Strome centering it. I don't know about that, but Strome, Kreider, Caco, like Kreider and Caco together is going to be fun. I love that.
I love Kreider.
And Caco's gross, man. Like his puck protection is like unlike any other. They're going to score a lot of goals. And then you got Cheadle, Nemestikov, and Kravtsov. Man, they've got the weirdest names on this team. I love it. And then
the best names.
Elias Anderson, who could be your second line center by the end of the year, with Brandon Lemieux and Jesper Fast. Like they're a bunch of like gritty, like bottom of the barrel guys that are good enough to be like second liners. Like they don't have a lot of star power outside of Panarin and Kakko, but they've just got all these guys that just work so hard and they'll just outwork you.
All right, here's my one gripe with this team.
Your goalie's
I
100.
don't know if Zibanejad could be a number one center on a cup-winning
competing
team.
No, I think he can. He put up
like
a good
him.
amount of points with meh
No,
wingers.
I understand that, but because if he's your first line center, then who the hell's your second line center?
It's bad.
Like,
Their center depth isn't pretty, but like their center depth's also young. So I think
it's
the
a
thing
lease
you'd
year
be
for them
I think
of like 2 years ago.
I think the thing you're worried
Like,
about
there's
is
no pressure.
Henrik Lundqvist. Like, is Henrik Lundqvist going to be Henrik Lundqvist, or is he going to be last season Henrik Lundqvist?
But Georgiev was good
He
for
was
them, wasn't
great.
he?
Yeah.
He dominated the Leafs every time they played him.
So they have a goalie of the future anyways. Like, I think that they'll sprinkle him
I think
in more.
this year is just going to be like let's see what we can do. Maybe we'll
This
squeak
is
it.
the
Exactly.
Leafs going into the playoffs as the 8th seed against Washington kind of season
exact
for
same
them.
year. Yep. Yeah.
I kind of think that they're an offer sheet team next summer.
Yeah.
Because if they should bottom out this year, get that pick, draft whoever, and then offer sheet someone next summer, and then get an elite level talent. Because if you can get a center next summer, say you offer sheet Barzal next summer, ooh, that'd be disgusting.
Yeah, especially the center is
You do need center depth.
Definitely a thing of need for them.
All right.
You add Barzal to this
MVP.
team, and you could legitimately
Who is it?
Panarin.
It could be. Honestly, it could be Lundqvist. I think
Zibanejad?
Lundqvist is important to this team.
Jeez, he's still carrying an 8.5 cap hit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think it's Panarin. I don't think there's anything around that. I think he's easily the best player on this team.
Well, he should be.
Breakout guy, Brady Shea.
I mean, Jacob Trouba.
I want to say Jacob
Trouba had a
Trouba.
big year.
He put up.
Yeah.
He had a big year last year, but that was because Bufflin was injured. I think if he just has a full year as a starter on a power play, he can put up 60 points.
I think it's fair to say that Adam Fox could be a breakout guy, even though he's a rookie this year. Just because he's been in college.
Chris Kreider playing with Capo Caco could be a big deal. I think he's.
I think Kreider's. Everyone knows what he scores 30 goals.
You give him with a guy like Caco, and he could bump you a bit.
And he's a free agent after the year, so yikes.
Frightening.
Yeah.
Give it to me, Mauro.
The Washington Capitals. I mean, they come into the season basically looking a lot like what they had last season. I don't think they made too much in terms of changes in personnel. They brought in Radko Gudas. They brought in, I don't even know, Richard Panik maybe. But I mean, it's a very similar roster to last year.
You know what you're going to get.
I mean, they're always a candidate for.
They brought in cocaine.
I mean, yeah, they lost Kuznetsov the first 3 games of the season because he had a little. He wasn't smart about how he handled his cocaine.
He partied too hard. Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of NHL players have fun with cocaine, but you got to be smart and hide it.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep.
All right.
We got to start flying through these. We're getting long.
Yeah, MVP Ovechkin. I don't think that's a real debate at all. Breakout, they got a lot of established players. Vrana, I think, is one guy.
Yeah.
Definitely a playoff team, I think.
Yep.
Agreed. Playoffs.
All right. That's your Eastern Conference.
Next team. Go with the Central. Let's go.
I screwed up this list. Chicago, they're not going to be good. I'm sorry. They have Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves. Outside of that, man, DeBrincat looks really good.
Strome looked good too, I think.
Your goaltending situation is better because you brought in Leonard, but I feel like they're going to go with Crawford, and if you go with Crawford, it's
is Nylander not even on the team?
Probably not, I would assume.
Oh, he's on the first line. He's on the first line with Taves and Kane. Ooh.
That's a frightening sight. I don't think MVP's Kane, obviously. Breakout player.
Strome. If Strome's legit.
Yeah. I give it to him.
If he's legit, what he did from last year.
Playoff team, no chance.
And
Playoff
Nylander.
team, no chance. No chance. Come on. That division's so fucking good. They have to play they have to play they have to play Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Nashville, St. Louis, and Winnipeg all year long. More than any other team. They're not a playoff team.
What if Robin Lehner is legit?
Yeah, dude, that division is so hard. They're playing 5 of the best teams in the league all year long, more than any other team. I don't think they get a chance.
I think they're bad. I think they're like a same level team as like Philly. They're bad.
I don't think so. Not in that division. They're not even. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the 6th best team in that division, and it's not even arguable, regardless of who their goalie is.
Mauro, playoffs? No? Yes?
I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I think this is definitely the most well-balanced division because I don't think the gap between them and the next best team is that, or like the second best team in this division is that far off. Like Minnesota, maybe
they could legitimately be the worst team in the division, and that's kind of surprising. Mauro, Colorado.
I'm high on these guys as well. Them and Florida are definitely Florida and New Jersey are like 3 teams that I really like going into this season. MVP, it's McKinnon. He's an MVP caliber player. He definitely is in the Hart Trophy for the last 2 years. Probably should have won it 2 years ago. It's debated.
He should have won it.
Breakout player, Cale Makar. We saw glimpses of him in the playoffs last season. I know he's a rookie,
again,
but
I don't think he's.
Fine.
I don't think.
Is he eligible?
Fine.
Maybe not. Or I'll say then Samuel Girard.
Sam Girard is a good one. I agree with that.
So
Nazem Kadri.
I don't think he can beat out. I mean, if he gets back to the level where he's putting up 30 points and he was a sulky candidate like he was when Toronto media was pumping that one, then maybe.
He's in the
but
middle
I don't see it.
On the power play.
Playoff team, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yep.
Tell me about Dallas, Ameer.
All right, I think I really like Dallas. I think that they're good. They improve. Okay, so they lose Zuccarello, right? But they get Pavelski. I like that move. Radek Faksa, I think he had a breakout in the playoffs a little. Who was the guy that Rope Hinsk? He was huge in the playoffs also. I think if they win, what was it, Game 7 against St. Louis? I mean, who knows? They could be Stanley Cup champions.
Especially with a guy like Ben Bishop in the back. If he's Ben Bishop again.
And I like half of their defense. I like Lindell. I like Klingberg. I love him.
Lindell one's out, though. That's frightening. Yeah.
Does he?
He requested a trade earlier in the year.
Don't love that. Didn't they just sign him to an extension?
I'm pretty sure it was Lindell. I may be wrong on Lindell, but I'm pretty sure it was Lindell that wanted out.
Yeah, I think you are because they just re-signed him.
Maybe I'm wrong.
They extended him on May 16th.
Okay, I could be wrong. Who was it that asked? I swear he asked for a trade.
I don't know, but Roman Polak is paired with Miro Heiskanen, I see, and I don't love that.
Or maybe not.
But I think Dallas is a playoff team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
Breakout. I mean, Rope Hinsker Foxa. One or the other.
I'd say maybe Miro Heiskanen.
Is it wrong to say?
I think
is it wrong to say Jamie Benn because he was so bad last year?
I
Which
guess.
I called, by the way. Thank you.
Didn't you take him in fantasy? Thank you.
I did trade for him, but
we
were trying to argue that fucking I don't remember who it was at this point.
Yeah,
Palmieri.
Palmieri.
Thank you.
We both remember that.
Yeah. Palmieri had a better year. Just saying. Thanks. Thank you. He did, man. Statistically, he had a better year.
Not fantasy points.
Barely. They were like the same. Either way.
Because thing got hurt.
Either way. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think they're a playoff team. You guys?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Next
team, the Nashville Predators. It's me, right?
Is it? No, I think it's it's me first.
Minnesota.
Me first.
One more.
Minnesota. Yeah. They're shit. I don't even want to spend time on them. Like they're the most boring. They're the most boring team in the NHL, dude. They're not going to be good.
Hey, my boy,
they're not. They're
but
not
they have my boy, Matt Dumba.
Our boy. Or fine. You could take it. You could take him. Say it already. Hurry up. Let's go.
My boy Matt Dumba, man. Like I don't know.
It.
He could score 30 goals as a defenseman.
That's it. You have Eric Stahl on your first line center. Jason Zucker was a flash in the pan last year.
This team is a very old team, and this is the classic example of why you don't pay two guys at like 29 years old
for the rest of their life.
$7 million each.
Yep. They're boring. They suck.
Like, they never really got close.
MVP Matt Dumba, breakout player.
Matt Dumba.
Matt Dumba. I don't know. Maybe Dubnyk shows up. That's it. Next.
Greenway, Donato.
Next.
I don't know. Like, I hate their forwards. They suck.
It doesn't matter. They suck. They're not making the playoffs.
Agreed.
Next.
Okay, so now Nashville. I don't even know who to pick for the MVP because if I'm looking at
Nashville better?
I'm looking at their top 6 and they're basically all guys that can score in between like 60 to 70 points.
Is Nashville better than they were last year?
They're the same, which is
addition by subtraction. Like, you lose Subban, but you sure up your second line center. So, I mean, you take one, you give to the other, right? Breakout candidate. I mean, all these guys are like well-established players. The only new name I see is Dante Fabro. So I don't know if he qualifies because he's like,
I would say
borderline rookie.
I'd say UC Saros when they bench Pekka Arena.
I mean, maybe Roman Josi, because now that they've got Subban gone, he'll get like
Yosi's
all
in a
the time on the
contract
power
year too,
play,
which
and
is huge.
He can really pile up the points and really take a step forward as the lead defenseman.
Yep.
I don't know. I just don't like that this team, they've paid players.
Yeah.
Like Johansson, Turris, and Duchesne are all getting paid $8 million
a playoff
or more.
Team, though.
As
playoff team 100%. Yep.
Sure.
Next.
Ameer, tell me about the Stanley Cup champs.
Whoa, the St. Louis Blues.
Yep.
I find them kind of boring, but fine.
Yeah, they don't play an exciting style of hockey, but they play a really good style of hockey.
And they don't have... name me a player on that team that you're like, wow, I'm going to get to watch this guy tonight. Like, I love Ryan O'Reilly, but he's not that guy.
Like, he doesn't put up a lot of points, but he does some cool shit. Like, I would say, wow, look at that.
But it's so far and in between. Like, people talk about him, like, when he got that cover of NHL, I was kind of like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah.
And then...
But, like, he was gross in junior. He's a fun player to watch, but...
I think if you can get a breakout year from him, then that, like... and pushes him into that
upper echelon.
Like, if he can be as good as like Rantanen, that level player, then St. Louis is golden. I honestly, if you told me that they missed the playoffs, I'd believe you.
Yeah.
I think it's borderline. I think Vince Dunn could have a breakout year.
Yeah.
Team MVP Ryan O'Reilly.
You really? Not Jordan Binnington? I think Jordan Binnington has to be your MVP because realistically, that team became a playoff team when he showed up.
Yeah, realistically, from that standpoint, I agree because without Binnington, like, you're gonna put it in the hands of Jake Allen, and I don't trust that at all.
Nope.
Like, they can, like, I don't know, is Binnington more valuable to the position than O'Reilly? I don't know.
I would think so.
O'Reilly was the Conn Smythe winner, right?
I didn't agree with that one, but they gave it to him. It was close.
It's close. It could go either way, Binnington or O'Reilly, but still, they need Binnington to show up if they want to remain in the playoff hunt because it's going to be a jam-packed top to bottom fight in the West. So
playoffs, yes or no?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the least iffy on them. Like, I'm the most iffy on them.
Winnipeg. They're really similar to Pittsburgh to me. I think like this is the first year we're like, they're probably a playoff team, but that defense got blown up.
Yep.
Without Dustin Byfuglien too, it's really frightening. But I guess you get Laine and Connor back, so that's big. Their forwards are good. Their top two lines are great. What are you going to get at a Connor Hellebuck is a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think as much this year. There's a lot more pressure on him without 4 of your top defense there.
Yeah, exactly. So
you have 5 below average defensemen.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think Mark Scheifele's probably their MVP. I could be wrong. Fair. I think Josh Morrissey's probably due for a breakout year.
Yep.
Because like he's got a lot of load now. And I think they're probably still a playoff team. I just think it's close.
Ehlers could break out, but I don't think that they're a playoff team.
You don't? No.
Nope.
They're close. They're one of those bubble
Not
teams.
with all,
They're like Philly, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if they missed.
You know what? Breakout year? Breakout year, Patrik Laine.
Yeah, that's fair. Comeback year.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Pacific.
Oh, I got the Anaheim
I butchered
Ducks.
this order, by the way.
I think that they're a bad team. They're not making the playoffs. They've got, Hampus Lindholm, Josh Manson, Cam Fowler. Cool. I think that they've got to blow it up, man. Like, it's not a fan. John Gibson, good on you. Like, you're an absolute stud. You're a stud, but like,
sorry about your team.
This team sucks around you. Yep. I wonder if like a team, if they're desperate, would like shell out 3 first rounders for him.
If they really needed a goalie. Yeah. Like if the Islanders
and
really
could win a
needed
cup.
goalie.
Or any team that's in a position to win a cup.
I'd see it.
Team MVP, Getzlav. Breakout. Hampus Lindholm, like into an elite defenseman. Potentially.
Pretty much it. I think your team.
Raquel,
I think
like,
your team MVP is John Gibson, though. That guy's the only reason you win games.
Me, sorry. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yep. All right. Let's move
apparently,
on.
I'm going again. Arizona. This team, man, like they always give everyone hope, and they always go on big stretches with like, oh my god, they might make the playoffs, and then they just don't. They're the team that could but don't. It's real disappointing. It all depends on how they do goaltending wise. That's been a huge issue for them because Antti Ranta missed.
And their 2 goalies have been
Yeah,
good.
he's a
Though.
Band-Aid.
Their 2 goalies last year were good.
But Antti Ranta, when he was healthy, was one of the better goalies in the NHL.
He's a great goalie when healthy. It's just when is he going to be
I don't
healthy?
know. I had Kemper down the stretch, and Kemper was
really good too. I mean, if you can get that same play out of either one of them, I wouldn't doubt them looking at a playoff spot. Especially because the rest of the division is
They could be like
shit.
last year's Islanders, like a tandem in net, and one of them just gets hot and you just
Do
roll
you
with
think
them.
Edmonton, LA, Anaheim, Calgary, San Jose, Vegas, are there 2 teams ahead of them in that list? San Jose maybe, San Jose probably, and Vegas.
San Jose, Vegas,
and
Calgary.
Is there a
Calgary.
3rd team? Calgary, you think?
Yeah,
Calgary for sure.
Okay.
At least I think.
I think they're 4th, and they could contend for a wild card spot. But
I don't
even
think they get that
that's-
wild card spot though, because if you're
I don't
sitting,
think they get the wild card spot out of any of the other ones in the Central.
no, because that's
No,
Central.
if I'm a betting man, I would say no. But
Yep.
breakout and MVP.
Phil Kessel might be their MVP. I think because that guy's going to put up a ton of points. Breakout also might be Phil Kessel because he had an off year last year and he might come back with it. It's kind of a cop out, but that's what I got.
Okay.
Next team.
Calgary. I think it's a solid team going in. MVP, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to go the duo of Gaudreau and Monahan because I think the 2 of them together are basically going to be the driving force for them. If you want me to take one, I'll take Gaudreau because I like him better.
Thank you.
I don't know what to think in terms of a breakout. I really think Cam Talbot stands a shot at breaking out and finally having a good season. He's got a capable and competent defense core in front of him.
Yep.
So I think if there's any time to show that he's a capable number 1, it's now. So,
I think that's a good
You know who
pick.
my breakout is? Hannafin.
Oh yeah.
and I definitely think that they are a playoff team. So
Agreed.
if Talbot's healthy, playing well, I mean, I think they finally stand to get out of the first round and hopefully more. I like
Who's
this
starting,
team.
Riddick or Talbot?
Riddick, I think.
Yeah.
But it could easily
I don't trust
be
the
Talbot's
goaltending.
team by October.
Agreed.
Middle of
I
October.
think Talbot stands to gain a lot of ground, even if he's not the starter going into the season. Like, he can finally show that he's a good goalie.
Yep.
Yep. All right. I got the other team in the province, the Edmonton Oilers. All right. They've got Draisaitl, McDavid, and Nuge.
And that's it.
Not a lot else.
Which
then,
one of those is your MVP?
12 other forwards that can't hit 50 points.
Nope.
I think the team MVP is Juju Arcaro.
Yep. Breakout player. None. The training staff.
I think this Connor McDavid
Gotta
guy
be
can
a
be pretty good.
defense. I think like Nurse. I think.
Sure.
I think he's the
That's a good
breakout,
one.
and I think McDavid's the MVP, obviously.
Are they a playoff team?
They could
No,
be.
man.
No, not with those.
Don't
goalies.
even give me that. There's
What if
zero
McDavid-
depth. They have one line. They literally
with
they
those
put the
goalies
three
and
of them
not with that
together at one
defense.
point because they literally have nobody else. They're bad.
All right. Let me rationalize
it's
this.
over.
What if James Neal comes
Who
back?
cares?
They're still gonna give up 5 goals
Exactly.
a game.
It doesn't matter. He can't play defense.
Connor McDavid.
What if
and
Mike
the other
Smith
two
is
guys on his
Arizona
line
Mike
cannot
Smith?
play defense and offense the
Edmonton
entire
fans,
game?
I tried. No, I don't. What would you say the legitimate chances to making the playoffs is? 5, 10%?
12.
You're giving them 12.
Thanks, Mauro.
12%.
12. I don't know.
Okay.
0.4.
Like,
Yeah, I
This
think
team's
that's
awful.
fair.
I feel
Next.
genuinely bad for Connor McDavid.
Thank you. Next.
Like,
MVP was who?
Yeah.
McDavid? That's not a question. Breakout was who?
Breakout Nurse.
Done. Do we have
Los
do we
Angeles.
have
Los
to?
Angeles Kings.
Man, the Kings suck too. This division sucks. I'm sorry, man.
Yep.
It's awful. Like,
It's a little bit like the Atlantic of where like
It's top
teams
heavy.
suck, like Detroit and
but they
Ottawa.
also have San Jose, who's consistently a cup
It's
contender.
Three good,
Exactly.
and then 3 very bad.
Yep.
which is like the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's top heavy.
MVP should be Doughty. Breakout player, give it to Jonathan Quick.
Dustin Brown.
I'll give it to Kopitar.
Okay.
Because he had a
bad
very
year
off
last
year
year.
last year.
Yeah. Are they a playoff team? Not even close. I think I'm done with that. Next.
San Jose. MVP, Erik Karlsson missed a lot of time last year. He has a shot too.
Ooh,
I
contentious.
think both. So both breakout and MVP because he missed time, and this is, I think, a top 3 team in the conference. Definitely a big shot at the playoff or the Stanley Cup final if they got all guys healthy. I know they lost a lot,
right.
but I mean, let's go playoff team for sure. for me.
I think that I have a little different breakout player. I think Logan Couture. I think he can put himself into like when you talk about the top centers. I think he's got to be like top 8-ish. Like he could put himself in that conversation.
Yeah,
Sure.
you lose a goal scorer though in Pavelski though. It's kind of hard.
And a veteran leadership.
You're
That's like
you're right.
40 goals off the board.
But he was money in the playoffs.
Oh, 100%.
Next team.
And our last
I got
one.
the last team, the Vegas Golden Knights.
Go Knights.
Yeah.
I think that they're just as good as they've been the last 3 years. It all depends on whether Fleury shows up or not.
Which, I mean, look, how long can you do it
Forever. Fleury forever.
for? They've got just like a solid team, and there's no like star outside of really Fleury, and I don't really know that you can count him as like a star
Yep.
player. Mark Stone, I mean, he's such a solid player that like you don't notice how great he is.
underappreciated
But-
for sure.
Yeah. I think that they're a playoff team just because like I don't see a deficiency really on the team. Maybe
They're
like
just
the left
all
side
really
of their
good.
defense, but
Is the thing.
Yeah. they kind of transformed into like Winnipeg kind of. I don't know. Playoffs,
Yes.
yeah.
We made
Cool. Breakout MVP, should I do that
it.
or
Oh,
no?
yeah, I guess.
Fleury, Shea Theodore.
Fleury MVP. That's a good one.
Who was the one? Who was your breakout?
I'm not going to fight you over that.
Shea Theodore.
Okay, yeah, I like that. He almost got suspended,
Tucker?
didn't he? Or he has cancer. Wasn't it?
Yep.
Huh?
Was I
He
wrong
had,
on that?
the Phil Kessel cancer.
Yeah. I was gonna say I knew there was some type of story. He almost got
Over the
suspended
summer,
by
yeah.
the IIHF for steroids because his can't.
Wasn't that Nate Schmidt?
No. So this was this year. Shea Theodore almost got suspended because his hormone levels were higher because he had testicular cancer and it raised his hormone levels. So they thought he was on steroids.
So he failed the drug test.
Yeah. And then they went and tested it out. He's like, "Oh, dude, you have cancer." And I was like, "Oh my." So yeah. Yeah. I haven't really heard an update on that though.
All right. We
That's
did
it.
it. We made it.
All right.
Holy
That's
shit.
long.
See, we went 3 minutes per team basically.
So, yeah,
Actually, I think it was an hour. Yeah, I think we.
All right, let's fly through these football games and wrap it up. Don't worry about writing them down yet. I'll send them to you after or something.
I've already got them written.
Perfect.
So if we want to hand it,
So
let's get her done.
Let's just.
All right, let's get this started. So we all got Philly. We all bet on Green Bay against Philly.
And we all lost.
Yeah, Washington at the Giants. I took the Giants. Go Mauro.
Let's go.
I fucked up last week real hard, so I'm going on Danny Dimes. Let's go.
Yeah, Giants all around.
Okay. Next game, Kansas City at Detroit. Kansas City all around, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost went against because I don't like the Lions this year. They're just, there's something special. Go ahead.
Agreed.
Kansas City.
Tennessee at Atlanta. I took Atlanta.
Yep, Falcons.
Tennessee. Why not?
I knew he was going to do it. I hope we really stand to gain
Brant
in this
just
one.
likes to go against the grain sometimes and like...
Good, I need that.
Yeah,
I need to gain any sort of points I can on you guys.
Unless I get that one right.
Cleveland at Baltimore. Brant, are you going with Cleveland?
Let's go Browns. Yeah, always, man.
I took Baltimore. Mauro.
I'm going Ravens too.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
That's fine.
Yep. Oakland at Indianapolis. I took Indy.
Yeah.
Indy, yeah, that's straight shot across the board, I'd say.
We got New England at Buffalo. The A team against the team of the decade.
Is it bad if I go with Buffalo? That's our boys.
No.
We can't go against the boys.
I wouldn't be.
I took New England.
I'm going to take the Pats, but I think it's a big what are the Bills game. Like, it's a very big measuring stick game.
That's the A team, boys.
I said it last week. This game should have been in like prime time, or it should have been a 4 o'clock game on like Fox or something. It deserves so much better than a 1 o'clock game.
It's the Pats though, right? I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you're taking the Pats now?
I just can't. I know I'm going to lose if I take the Bills, but I feel like I should just take the Bills.
Sure.
Loyalty.
Final decision.
Patriots.
Carolina at Houston.
Carolina, because there's no Cam Newton, so Carolina.
Mauro?
Texans. No. Kyle Allen was really good, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of scared by this pick.
Take you both took the Texans?
Yeah.
I love it.
Kyle
Thanks,
Allen
boys.
from Houston. He's from Houston.
So
from
he's going to be
Texas.
fired up. You're into Houston family watching? Guy's throwing 4 TD passes. Let's go.
It'll be interesting. The Chargers at Miami. Chargers all around.
I swear to God, if this game loses, I'm out of my survivor pool and I'm going to snap. I might not come on for another podcast.
Fair enough.
Melvin Gordon fumbles 6 times.
Hey, that's a big thing coming. He's coming back, so that's gonna be fine. They'll ease him in, but this is a no doubter game. At least I think. They shouldn't
play him this week, but Tampa Bay at Rams.
Rams.
But don't be shocked if Tampa Bay wins it, because
Rams all around.
I think the Rams have been shaky.
The Giants defense got to Winston a lot, so imagine what Aaron Donald's gonna do.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Seattle at Arizona. I don't know what the fuck Seattle is.
Yeah, that's a iffy one.
They were garbage in the first half against the Saints.
I'd like to pick this one last.
Seattle. I'm going Seattle. I don't think Arizona has a chance. But
Ameer?
I took Seattle.
Let me guess, Mauro.
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
That's what I thought.
Screw it.
Yeah,
right.
You need to make up a lot of points. So yeah,
I need to pick up a lot of
call.
points here.
Yeah, it's like, or you can dig yourself into a hole. Also,
but I'm already in the hole.
This is a big moment to make that decision.
You're betting against the best team of the decade in that division.
Yep.
On the worst team of the decade in that division.
But hey,
okay, to get their first win of the year.
Good choice. We got it. Next.
Yeah. Minnesota at Chicago.
Minnesota.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Bears.
I took Bears also.
The Bears look great.
This was legitimately based off of only who was at home.
Okay,
I think
it's a close
game regardless.
The Bears look great in the first half, but they just kind of went in the second half.
They stopped playing defense in the second half.
Weird.
Agreed.
They could come in with no momentum after that, is what I'm thinking. Vikings take it.
Mm-hmm. Jacksonville at Denver. Are we all going 3P
Gardner Minshew? Let's go. I love him. So much fun.
I'm taking the second. Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
when there's no first. All right. Sunday night game, Dallas at New Orleans.
Who you guys got?
Oh,
I got Dallas.
yeah.
I got faith in
fuck the
Teddy,
Cowboys.
man.
I'll do
Teddy
it.
looked good. I got to go Saints.
Yeah, I hate to
Okay.
do it, but I'm taking the Cowboys. I hate them. Fuck the Cowboys.
You
I'm
guys
doing
go
it.
together on everything. Like the only time we differ is because I differed in this week, and then the one that Mauro differed on.
Basically.
Love it. All right.
And then the Monday night game, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh all around.
Like I want to say Pittsburgh, but like they suck. Am I wrong on
Minka,
that?
my boy.
Like they've been bad.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Like I might do the same, but
Oh.
they beat the Bengals a lot. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Mauro. It's got to be Bengals. Let's have some fun.
All right. Thank you.
You're taking the.
That's a game.
This is big because now I've hedged on Brant on like 2 or 3 matchups,
Yeah.
and now this is finally one where if we
Yeah.
can win it, we get one on Ameer.
Yeah.
This is big.
All right. So to review. We all took the Giants. We all took Kansas City. We have our first difference with the Tennessee at Atlanta game. Brant took Tennessee. Me and Mauro took Atlanta. And then in the next game, Cleveland at Baltimore. Brant took Cleveland. Me and Mauro took Baltimore.
I'm gonna lose that one.
all
I
think
guarantee
Indy's
it.
going to win.
I'm gonna lose
What?
that one. I guarantee it. But
Oh, I know.
Browns.
But the thing, okay, so with everyone saying that the Browns are going to be so bad
Yeah.
this year, all they have to do is win this game and they're leading
Yep.
the division.
They've been in every game. Oh, actually, they weren't in the first game. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Yeah. We all think Oakland's going to lose to Indianapolis, as the same is for New England beating Buffalo. Brant's taking Carolina, and me and Mauro taking Houston, all taking the Chargers to beat Miami, and all taking the Rams to beat Tampa. Me and Brant think Seattle's going to win at Arizona. Mauro taking Arizona. Me and Mauro think the Bears are going to win at home against the Vikings. Brant's taking the Vikings. All agree Jacksonville's going to beat Denver. And the Sunday night game, a fight between me, Mauro, against Brant, who thinks the Saints are going to win at home against
Teddy B,
Dallas. And then the Monday night game, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I'm the lone wolf taking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, baby.
This
Let's
might
go.
be a
Red
dumb
rifle.
pick, Mauro, but I love it. Let's go.
We're believing in the red rifle.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
I'll have those.
And they're both taking
I'll have all those
Cincinnati.
picks up on the Instagram.
That's week 4 in the NFL.
if you want to.
Is there anything
if you
else that we
wanna
got to
review
talk
it.
about this week?
No, we're good. Anything we'll just push till the beginning of next week.
Alrighty. So, big podcast. I think it went
Yeah,
great.
we did good.
It was fun going through all the divisions.
I think we say the same thing every
right.
year.
This one's
Yeah.
been a fun one.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.